How's it going, legends? Welcome back to the HEYBIGMAC podcast, your number one for driving destination podcast in Australia. I'm your host, HEYBIGMAC. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to make a special mention to our sponsors, LJ Fab and Hamptons Media Services. All right, rightio, guys. Well, welcome back. I'm in the hot seat. It's been a long 2 weeks since we sort of sat down and done a potty. The last one I done with Matt. Basically, welcome back to the HEYBIGMAC podcast. Thank you for watching, listening, viewing, subscribing, streaming. We appreciate all the support. It goes a long way and does not go unnoticed. I'm just sitting here today by myself. It's just another Sunday in the shed, catching up on a few things. And this week's just going to be a little bit of a update episode, a bit of a recap of different things going on, some topics, and yeah, let you know sort of where we're heading at the moment with the potties. So I suppose without sort of stuffing around, we'll get into it. So as some people would have seen this week, I've finally drawn the HEYBIGMAC 20k follower giveaway. Absolutely unreal. Can't thank the companies that jumped on board enough. Like, you got Custom Steering Solutions, JMax Off-Road, Roost Systems, Hyde Country, Hang On Cords, GME. It's all these companies that give us the opportunity to be able to run the utes and build the utes and do all this sort of stuff, and that's what counts. So yeah, no, I was bloody stoked with that. We got 3 good winners out of it: Jakey Dirk, All Time Adventures, and Ben Greenhall. So I was absolutely blown away that Matt and Chloe won it. But as I say to everyone, the only fair chance of winning is a fair chance of actually entering. And look, some of my best mates won it, and they're some of the best people that support me. Like, I've seen 2 comments already from people that are saying, "Oh, it's rigged, blah blah blah." Well, did you enter? Did you follow the rules? If you haven't done that, then you've got nothing to stand on. Like, it's you can't cry this and cry that when you didn't take part and do it yourself. So, I mean, it's not rigged. It's just it went to the people that, they support it. They entered. They did the right thing. And I didn't even draw the names. It was done on a website. It was done by a third party. Like, I had nothing to do with the draws. So, yeah, that's all I can say. Congratulations to those boys. And, yeah, thanks for entering the giveaway. So, pretty much this week on the call line, so if you're listening to this right now, the week it's released, till this Sunday, I believe, you've got the opportunity to win a Dometic Esky, a Dometic Fluke Esky. If you go over to the HEYBIGMAC Instagram, like HEYBIGMAC Podcast Instagram, you can see the giveaway details. All you have to do is call up on the injector line, like send in your voicemail, just to jump on your Snapchat, send us a video. Basically, funniest yarn, topic story, anything to do with full driving, whatever it might be. If you just want to talk to us or give us an opinion, send us a topic. The best call of that, me, Andre, and Matt are going to decide the winner. The best call is going to win a Fluke Dometic Esky. So jump in, win yourself an Esky. Like, how hard could it be? And a lot of people are struggling with the call line. I understand how to do it. It's just a voice recording app on your phone. Send it in by email to heybigmacpodcast@yahoo.com. And yeah, you're in the running. We're going to listen to them all. It's pretty much sight unseen. So there's no, just full of surprises. We don't know what we're going to be listening to. It's just going to be there. So yeah, send them in. If you can't send it in by email, take a video on your phone, because we're only using the audio. Take a video on your phone, recording yourself, recording whatever it is. Talk to it and just send it in via the podcast page or my Instagram page. Then we'll know. We'll just be able to file them. But yeah, that's go win an Esky, guys. Like, how hard could it be? You got to keep those beers cold somehow. Like, go grab some buddy beers off, I don't know, whatever company you drink, your mates, whatever it might be. Yeah, so buddy beer. The next one I've sort of got on the list, we're going to just rattle off some admin topics, I suppose, first up. It's influencer news. This one got sent to me. Someone said we need to sort of like we did at the very start of the podcast was, talk about what's going on in the industry with like the bigger names and all that. And I don't know, I thought an influencer news section, like just a topic section of what's going on with the biggest names this week, see what's going on, whether it includes, myself, some of my mates, some of the people I don't know, just go with it. It helps when there is a few people that send in weekly of just different stuff they see online, whether it's good, bad, drama, someone attacking someone. Like, we see it, we get a note of it. Ultimately, it comes down to us on the end of the day who we want to talk about on this show and what we want to talk about. There's some pretty disturbing topics that actually come up online through socials even in the last couple of weeks. And look, I'm not going to talk them on here, and I'm not going to bring something out of context that, serious accusations that don't need to be mentioned on here without the knowledge. Like, I'd rather get a statement from both people if they had the time and, put their side of the story out, but that's not my job. I'm not a bloody courthouse, so I could say my opinion about it, but I don't think I really need to speak on any of it. But yeah, influencer news I think would be a great idea. Like, something to just, you talk about whether someone's building a car and what's happened, or, you get giveaways, or just a little feed section for what's going on. Because I know, like myself, I can't keep up to every single YouTube video every week of every single influencer. Like, there's so much good stuff out there. So just a little thing that I thought, when that got sent in to me, I was like, that's a good idea. We could just keep influencer news in a segment, and that way we're not idolizing the whole podcast around just, the big names and what's going on each week and vice versa. It'd just be cool to dedicate a section to that sort of content. Next update I've got is actually for myself. I've pulled the ute off the road. I ended up selling my steel tray, so LJ Fab, he's been an absolute legend.
Alrighty, legends, we interrupt this episode to bring you a word from our sponsor, LJ Fab. Are you looking for a new tray, canopy, or dog box for your rig? Make sure you get over and see the team who offer flexibility and custom design to suit your needs. They're a few hours west of Brisbane, located in Chinchilla, and they're shipping Australia-wide. Now, they've got a few spots left and bookings after that, so make sure you get in quick and get your booking ready for your rig. They've also given us a discount code, so if you mention HEYBIGMAC podcast, he's going to take 10% off your next tray. So terms and conditions apply, and get in quick. Thanks, legends. Back to today's episode.
My new tray is on the way. It's got out of paint. Hopefully in like the next week or two, I should be able to just, get the call off him and go out, pick it up, get it all assembled. And yeah, I'm so bloody keen for it. But the one thing that's still sort of something is I haven't figured out like my exhaust and all that yet. I don't know exactly who I'm going to go through. So I would like to work with a company because, money is key. But yeah, if there is a company that wants to actually advertise and, do work out a deal of some sort, like, yeah, I'm all for it. If not, I'm probably going to pick someone that's a mate that, I'd rather support a mate and give him some coin and, get a product on my ute that I'm happy with. So yeah, that's another big one. Like, I put out the post on socials and everyone flooded them, but as I said on there, I don't want your best mate who, he might just have a shop and do it. I want to know who's got the best work. So that was another big one for me is, I suppose that's a different one that comes across as well. How many people do you get out there that, they'll go, oh, like this, say they're supported by a company. This is the best of the best of the best. Like, you can't do that for just every company. Like, if there's 15 different influencers out there going, oh, you've got to support this tuning shop or you've got to support this suspension shop. Well, yeah, they're going to say it's the best because that's who's paying them to live their life at the end of the day. And look, I know I'm guilty of the same thing. I sit there and I go, look, HEYBIGMAC is the best. But it's also the best in their category for suspension. Like, they know it, I know it, everyone else sort of knows it. You're going to have different things for different things. So if you want to go touring, like I say, and have like a heavy loaded vehicle and be able to handle it and be safe, go HEYBIGMAC. If you want the most redneckest cowboy flexing crazy thing, go to another company that's going to do a backyard thing in the shed. You're never going to get a stamped plate on it. It's never going to be legal. But hey, you're going to have the craziest flex out there so you can show off to your buddies. So look, he might have the best kit for flex and suspension, but is it legal? No. But does that make it the best? yes and no, but it just sort of comes down. I suppose you're not selling out because you're going to support what you believe in. Like I believe in the companies I support, and that's what matters. So I just think it's crazy that everyone sits there and goes, "This is the best company. You can't go with another company." I think people need to do their research too on those sort of topics. Like, yeah, it's a hard one. Like, same comes down to tires. Oh, people will say these are the best tires, these are the worst tires. If you've never run those tires yourself, you can't bag that tire out. So, yeah, it's just another little one for a bit of a rant, food for thought. But now the Utes. So back to where I was. The Utes come off the road. I pulled it off the road last week. Tray's off. Tray's gone. So I've built a temporary tray. I've just nicknamed it the Norwood tray. So can't weld for shit. Can weld a little bit, but yeah, I'm a sick mad chippy. So I built a timber tray that's temporary that I'm going to drive around for the next week or two while I get it all checked out, and hopefully try and get it down to the detailer as well. Get it cleaned up, and then paint up a few little parts because I mean the Ute's done 90 something thousand Ks and it's just been peppered. Like it's had a hard life for 90,000 Ks in under 2 years. And yeah, like a lot of trips. It's seen a lot of red dirt and dust and gravel and mud and sand and salt and everything. So yeah, it needs a refresh, and that's the time now to give it. Like I'm going to pull all the bull bar off again and tidy everything up and just bring it back. Like scrubbies and side steps or side sliders is a big one. I need to get that sorted if I can get around to it. I'd love to, put a set of fat bars sliders or something on there just because I think they look nice, and yeah, go from there. But yeah, that's my little sort of update. There was last week, obviously there was no podcast. It has been absolutely hectic around here at the moment. Little bit of working away some nights, which I don't get to be in the office, and then just everything that's going on. Like last weekend, not the weekend, just gone the weekend before that, we had like a photo shoot on, and then we're working in the shop on the piss bus and getting it ready and built, and trying to get that YouTube video out so it wasn't delayed, and yeah, different things like that. So this week's going to be just an update episode. I can't speak on next week yet. I think we're going to sort of start doing these bi-weekly until we get a couple of guest episodes completely done, ready to go out, and I suppose we're going to separate it as a season 1, season 2. So I think season 1 was good. It sort of got us off our feet. We've been able to realise what works, what didn't. Just almost a learning curve for me, like learning how to edit and, crop and upload and get everything like distributed, and like changing hosting platforms from Spotify to Acast, and it's just stuff like that didn't know at the start, sort of learning as I go. And yeah, so just going to keep ticking them off the list. But I've got, like as I've been saying in the last few episodes, got a couple of guests lined up. I think it's just sort of we're in the middle period at the moment where I'm stuck between being so busy with getting the ute ready with upcoming trips, a lot of other stuff going on with work, background, personal life, that the potty's easy to do each week. We just don't want it to be stale. So that's where we're stuck with a little bit, and it's sort of at that stale point because we're just trying to get that that merge between sort of like the first solo episodes with like just the boys and us, and then bring in some bigger guest episodes and really kick it off hard. The aim is to be able to do this full time, and it is hard, and it's a step back from like the money I was earning, obviously plastering and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's going to be one of those things. Like, I always welcome if there is a brand out there that wants to do a bit of advertising and be a sponsor of the show, and anything to help out us to be able to help them out in return. And yeah, like it's another thing, like the sponsors that you've heard on the episodes now, they'll be there for absolutely ever. If those terms run out, then they run out. But yeah, when those sponsors are there, if you listen to episode 1, that sponsor's going to be on that episode until episode 300 or 400 or 500. They're going to be there forever. So that's where I sort of talk the benefits in of, if you do want to sponsor an episode, like, get in quick, because the time is now. Like, you might be able to sponsor an episode now for $100, and that $100 sponsorship in a year's time might be worth, I don't know, $1,000, because if the notoriety, oh Jesus, what was that? If the notability is there, then you might get in quick. Your name's going to be mentioned in that episode forever. If it gets up in the views and people start hearing it, they're just going to know about it. So I see it as a cheap way of advertising for yourself, if that's something you're keen on. But I know it's not for everyone. Yeah. So I don't know. Sponsors help, and look, I don't just pick any random sponsor either. It's people that I really want to work with, people that I want to actually help and support. And I mean, that's where I'm so happy that I have had some really good companies jump on board to help me, support me, like whether it's parts or money or product endorsements. Like it just makes everything keep going around. It keeps us doing this for the fans and everything like that. So yeah, you'll always hear me say it. I can never thank the brands and the people around me that support me the most, because I can never thank them enough. It's just, that's why I keep doing it, and that's what helps us keep going with, being able to produce videos. So yeah, without harping on that too much, that's sort of what I'm getting at there. Over the last 2 weeks, I've just had a bunch of random stuff sent to me. So everyone would have seen, since we did the last podcast, Palm Creek, it looked like a Chop 80 series flip. Don't know how the bloody hell happened. It's like probably your worst fear when you're up there. Like, they are some gnarly drops in there, and like doing it in my ute last year, I was shit myself. There's no easy way to say it, but yeah, to break down what sort of happened with the 80 flipping into Palm Creek, like, he's come down hard, and it's almost like he's locked up the brakes when he's hit the bottom, and the momentum's just kept going forward, and it could have had anything to do with it, how fast the back wheels or the suspension preloaded once he went over the lip, and it just kept momentum there, or if it's just undercut that much that it's giving that option to flip. But yeah, man, like, I don't know, it's to see it go over like that, it's pretty like, it would shake anyone up going, holy shit. So yeah, once you're in that hole too, like, you can't really get out of the car, you can't do anything while you're there. So it's just like, to see the video come back of it being winched back over, like, I don't know, everyone's got their speculation of how you do it, and I wasn't there, so it could be right or wrong here. And one of the other boys actually mentioned this to me, but when you're pulling a car that's, you're talking 3+ ton, it's a pretty big car that went over. You had one person with a strap on the side, sort of like holding it straight, I guess, and then you just had a winch. It looked like a single line winch pull. Now, look, I'm not the expert with recoveries, but you'd think you'd have 2 or 3 cars there, double line pulls, all the power, all the strength. It wouldn't be fast, but it'd be very strong. And I think they were putting a lot of faith in just, a single winch and a strap just to keep that car upright to pull it over. But hey, they got it. At the end of the day, they got it done. I wasn't there. It's very hard to put into the circumstances of what was around. Was there enough cars to recover it? All that sort of stuff. It all plays out, and everyone's an expert and a keyboard warrior online, and yeah, that just comes to go with it, I suppose. So yeah, bit full on, but as I say, if you weren't there, it's hard to comment on how it actually happened and what's happened and all the stuff that led to it. So yeah, that was definitely a worse fear sort of unlocked in your brain, I suppose, to see. Like, never thought it would happen. Unfortunately, it did happen. I'm sure it probably happened in the past, but it wasn't filmed or something like that. But yeah, it's power of social media. We get to see that stuff sitting on our couches at home. So that was sort of added in as a suggestion with that for the call line. The injector call line, if you wanted to call up, obviously the giveaway running this week,
your car related or job related incidences for worst fear in life unlocked. Like some people, call up with your worst fear. What if we put it that way? Like some people's worst fear can be like, I don't know, a fucking spider. Your worst fear could be heights. I don't know, like I've got fears of anyone that's been following me for a long time, like elastic, like spring-loaded stuff. Like it's weird, but yeah, stuff like that. Like what's the best one? Like a coilover. If you know how everyone uses a coilover compressors, and then you see the videos releasing of them all the time, and getting people's hands jammed or hitting in the face. That's like my fear, or one of them, I suppose I'd say. It's just, yeah, it's cringeworthy. So, yeah. What is you? I want everyone to sort of like either message me on Instagram or tag me in something, or even call the call line. What's your worst fear? Like even commenting under the recent post, like what's your worst fear in like anything like that? Because I know there's a lot out there, and it'd be interesting to ask Maddie and Andre maybe on the next episode what theirs is, because yeah, we've all got them. So, another one seen obviously over the last week, clout chasing. There's fucking there's no right or wrong way to answer this question. There's a lot of people out there clout chasing. Do I love it? No. Do I hate it? No. But it's there for a reason. Like there is right and wrong ways to go about it. Look, you could be supporting someone to the asshole at the end of the universe, and people are just going to go, oh, you're clout chasing, you're trying to hype off them and that. Like I sit there with some of my best mates, people who have absolutely no interest in social media, and we'll just hype absolutely everything out of each other. And it's not clout chasing. It's if you I look at it, and people look at it differently. I look at it as if you're a mate to me or you're good to me. I don't care how much I support you, or I've got to help support you, or you support me, whatever way it goes. I'm still going to bloody help you. It's not because I'm clout chasing, but I think where the clout chasing comes into it really bad is where people are using someone else's name to shit on them to gain fame. And we've seen it over the last few weeks. It's happened to one of the big names and a couple other big names, and they'll sit there and go, oh, this post, a lot of people asking me about it, blah, blah, blah. You all wanted to know, and a lot of people asking me this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this happened, blah, 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 and this. And then they lie about it, which is an obvious lie to anyone that was there and knew about it. But then they'll turn around a day or two later and say, oh, this wasn't for clout, but I just thought people should have known about it, or that sort of shit. And, or it's a touchy subject to fucking cross on, but there's a lot of people clout chasing out there for the wrong reasons. And if you're trying to put someone else, we said it in a few episodes back, if you're trying to shit on someone else, it's probably because you've got own insecurities in your own life that are holding you back. Like it's easier to tear someone else down than to build yourself up. It's fucking true. Like if you want to go out there and just keep shitting on someone with followers to try and gain some clout on it, go for it. But you're never going to get anywhere, and you're never going to be as far as the person you're going to be shitting on. So I sort of look at it this way. If I want to go out and shit on someone with 100,000 followers or 200,000 followers, I might catch them. In a very long time, I might catch them, but I'm never going to be better than them. It goes the same way as if someone's got 300 followers. At the end of the day, if I go and shit on someone with 300 followers, you're never going to be better than them, and you're probably going to be worse than them. Like that person with 300 followers, I know if I go out right now and start shitting on them with 20,000 followers on an account, they're probably going to gain more followers out of that than I will from it. And it doesn't get anyone anywhere. It's a toxic side it sort of comes back to in the industry is people love to shit on everyone else for jealousy and hate, and people trying to pull up a good example of it is like in Australia, someone builds a car and everyone's going, this is the dumbest thing, like this person's an absolute idiot. And then you see Whistling Diesel this week burn down a Ferrari and people go, this guy is the best bloke ever, he's fucking amazing, blah, blah, blah. And you see that and go, hold on, weren't you just shitting on someone in Australia and YouTube the other day for what they're building or what car they've made or the decisions they're doing or the trips they're doing or the content they make? And you're like, it makes you question going, these people are doing the exact same or legit content or whatever it might be. But then you want to go and shit on someone who's a legit troll like Whistling Diesel or whatever, who does do some sick content. Like, I love his stuff because if you get mad at someone having fun at their own expense, then you're just jealous or you're a hater. Like, who cares if he's burning down a car or breaking something? It's funny. It's content. That's what he does. That's his brand. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, like it's just, it seems to always come up that someone's jealous or hates or, like, I get it as well. I have people hit me all the time, and to be honest, I can't even bring up a scenario at the moment because I just ignore it. I block them. Really couldn't give a fuck what you think of me. If you like me, I'm gonna do everything I can to help and support you, whether you've got followers or not. If you're a good person to me, I'll be a good person back. It's but yeah, if you want to come, like, even to me in person or socials, whatever it is, and you want to have a go at me, you want to run me down, whatever it might be, I'm all for it because I either learn who you are or I'm going to find out who you are. And it's just, it's normally, you see people, they might be shitting on someone, it's probably because they've had a bad day at work or a bad day at home or something else is going on in their life and they just need to vent some steam. But unfortunately, they might be venting it the wrong way. So yeah, it's a bit of a ranty-ish, touchy subject when it comes to, like, the word and term used in quotation, like clout chasing or whatever it is. Like, there's no easy way around it. Like, fortunate for myself, like, I do have those contacts where I can reach out to some people with bigger names and, talk to them, and people go, oh, you clout chasing or you're riding his dick for followers and views. And at the end of the day, if you're using someone else to gain followers and views, you're never going to gain that audience that is, like, genuine. Is probably the best way to put it. If like, not every single person is going to go out and, if I went over to the USA right now and hung out with Denny Duncan, Whistling Diesel, Diesel Brothers, Cletus McFarlane, any of those blokes with million plus followers on their YouTubes and all that, if I go out and hang with them for a week or 1 day or 1 month, I'm not going to have 1 million followers. It doesn't work like that. Like, you give someone a shout out if I give someone a shout out on my page, I've got 20,000 followers, or I give my other account a shout out. If I can get 10% of those people across to a separate platform or an account or something like that, I feel satisfied. Like, if it's more than that, I'm absolutely stoked because you sort of work out what's going on with your followers after a while, and you see who's interacting and the engagement and everything that goes on. You're never going to be able to, unless it's a one-off viral post, like there is the one-off viral post and all that sort of stuff, but every single post isn't going to reach every single 20,000 followers that you have to one post. It's not going to reach 20,000 followers to every single story unless it's a viral, stupid story or something like that. Like, and people that are in that space will understand what I'm talking about. Like, there are, actually, I remember Jake Paul saying it on one of his interviews. He said, you can have 20-something million followers on Instagram, but you will still only have 1 million people watch your stories. And it's fucking true. Like, you can't expect to have every single one of those accounts be following up, but then I think the people that get confused with it is, like, they'll come across and go, oh, if this account that's got heaps of followers gives me a shout out, I'm just all of a sudden going to have millions of views. It's like, all right, if someone with 100,000 followers gives you a shout out, you might get, I don't know, 300 followers or something, or 100 followers or whatever it might be. But it's also gaining that, you're getting that attention there, which is good, but you want to do it in the right way. I feel like, I don't know, sort of situation, like, even for myself, like, preach, like, eat what you preach sort of situation. Like, I don't know, sometimes I could be good or bad at it. Like, I'll jump out there with my friends and I'll tag all my friends' accounts in the content if they're involved with it. And it's the same as, like, sharing posts. Like, I don't want to be sharing every man and his dog's post if it's got no benefit to the people I follow. But I also want to support the people I support. So it's like as simple as liking a video or reel and commenting on it. And, I've got the second page where I share a lot of just funny and dumb stuff. And then I've got my main account where I try to keep it just content based related. And I don't know, it's just a fed in subject that just keeps going and going and going. So I'd love to hear people's opinions on the so-called quotations of clout chasing. Like, everyone's got a different answer to it too. So yeah, not to take anything out of context. It's just the way it is. Like, people see it all differently and people act on it differently. So yeah. This got mentioned through the week. Unsecured loads in whether it's four drives or trailers, whatever it is. Everyone's going to do it at some point. But the thing I find crazy is you can have a trailer without a tarp or a U-tray without a tarp or a net, and you get done for an unsecure load. Then it got pointed out, you see these cane trucks everywhere, like where we are in South East Queensland. You see a cane truck, and if you follow one of those cane trucks, and if you ever have followed one, you'll know what I mean. There is sugar cane flying across the road everywhere from the top of the trucks. How the fuck can we get pinged for having a tie-down strap loose in a ute or whatever, but then a cane truck can just freely roll down the road? Like, there might be an answer for it, there might not be, but yeah, I think it's absolutely stupid. It's a carry-on, that's for sure. Just, yeah. I understand unsecured loads. Like, if you're going to have a crash and something might become a projectile, then yeah, you got to think about that, or whatever, or if someone's going to fall out of the ute or trailer or truck, you got to think about that. But yeah, I don't know, loaded question that I think it'd be good to go into details with someone who's maybe been done by it, or even with the boys to sit down and have a chat about it. So yeah. Another few things here. I've just been out to the motocross today in Coolum. Bloody ripper race, and the track was so busy. As a lot of people know, that are local to sort of South East Queensland, all involved in the motocross community, the Coolum Pines motocross track is actually getting closed down the end of this year. So it was the last national event they're holding at Coolum. Yeah, sucks to see that track go. Like, I grew up racing bikes and riding bikes and did a bit of riding at Coolum, and yeah, it sucks to see a track as famous and sort of well known as that one in Australia to get sort of their lease on their council lease on the land taken, so they've got to move the track and close it down and relocate. And yeah, it's a big bummer, but it's good to see how many people are out there. Like, so a lot of people I knew around locally, and just other people that you see travelling to come up to Coolum and see how busy that track was for the Nationals was awesome. So yeah, it was a bloody ripper day. Like, I went out there this morning and just got to see everything, watch a few races. The track was rough as hell. So yeah, a bit full on, but it was really good to see. Following on from that, I think just an honourable mention. You've got the Lawrence brothers over in the States right now. So last week, Jet Lawrence, he is a Landsborough bloke from the Sunshine Coast. Jet Lawrence has just gone out and won the 450 outdoor championship title. Like, a perfect season so far. Like, is absolutely unreal. So at the time of filming this, I haven't watched the Budds Creek 450s yet, but yeah, it's absolutely unreal to see some Aussie blokes getting, two brothers over into the States. Like, his younger brother, sorry, I corrected, Hunter, Jet's older brother, is in the 250s and he's winning the series at the moment. Like, it's unreal to see two Aussie brothers over in the States absolutely killing it in the motocross. Like, it's just a good mention that I think needs to be made more for Australian sports, especially. Is I haven't seen absolutely nothing on Australian news or media about these two blokes over in the States killing it. Like, these are two Aussie athletes at the top of the world of motocross riding at the moment. Like, if you're in that industry of motocross, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for anyone that doesn't, like, these boys are absolutely killing it. Like, striving to the top. Like, everyone's heard the names of Chad Reed, Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, Ryan Dungey, like the greatest riders of all time. They've all got their eras of like these blokes like Dungey, Stewart, Reed. They've all got the titles of greatest of like all time, greatest of their time. I like to say. I think this is one of those races like this season for Jet to be first year in his 450s, do a perfect season, win the championship. That is a contender title of the greatest of his time. Like, it's insane. So, bloody massive. Just, it's an honourable mention on the potty is, yeah, absolute big congratulations to those boys killing it over in the States. And I think Australia and Australian media needs to do a better job of publicity for just Australians in general, heading overseas and competing, and whether it's motocross or sports or whatever athlete it might be. There's so many things out there. And I suppose that's another one that's sort of been getting the praise this week is the Matildas. Like the soccer girls, I could not give two shits about watching soccer. It bores the absolute shit out of me. But for some people, they love it, and I'm all for it. And I think we, do support Australian sports and athletes and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was good to see that, they're going out and the whole media is supporting these, the Matildas in soccer and all that. I think they come fourth, but they're getting so much mention of it. Meanwhile, there's like, yes, they come fourth, and it's a huge feat for a soccer team to come fourth, even in the World Cup, I think it was. But you've got these two blokes that are Aussie boys over in the States winning titles, and there's just absolutely nothing of them. Like, I mean, I know motocross isn't as big as the soccer in the world and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it's just crazy that those sort of things don't get a bigger mention. It comes back to every year, like Toby Price out in the Fink, and when he was racing Dakar, he's a local Aussie bloke, like, but you don't see any of it. You might see a 5-second clip interview. Like, I know last year, or I think it was last year, the year before, when Toby Price went and did the Dakar, and you watch a news segment that went for 30 seconds, and you're going, what the fuck is this? So, even with Fink Desert Racing out there, like, I think, there's some stupid records or series wins in a row for, like, David Walsh on the motorbikes and then Toby Price in the trucks and the times and all that. But there's absolutely nearly zero mention of it on media. So, I don't know. Sort of annoys a lot of people a bit that I do know that follow that sort of stuff. And, yeah, it'd just be good to see a lot more of it. Like, I mean, podcasts and stuff like that now are the way. Like, you got Gypsy Tales, anything for motorsports. Gypsy Tales is, like, the first one to mention it and talk the highest about all these blokes, which is absolutely unreal. And yeah, I suppose we sort of, I sort of want to sit here and do the same thing with my podcast is come out and, if there is a big achievement with Australian social media, mention it. Like, even we did mention a few weeks back, like, you've got some big Aussie YouTube names going over to the States. Like, you've had Matty Baker from Explore Life. He's just gone over there with like Nav and I think his partner and his like videographer. You've just had, I think still over there is Full Drive 24/7. You've got like Shauno, Graham, I think Jocko was over there, Tim from Mitz or Alloy. So like seeing some Australian brands get over there, like Patriot Campers, they're doing absolutely unreal, going over to the States, expanding their business. Like it's awesome to see Australian stuff progressing, but no one's talking about it in Australian media unless it's on social media. Like, I know everyone's got their different opinions of every single name I've just said, but like it or not, because those boys are doing what they're doing and expanding the business from the top level is the reason that all of us are in four drives. All of us have some of the best gear out there, merchandise, stuff to follow, watch, find out. Like, 10 years ago, half these places, the tracks, the campsites, all the journeys that everyone goes on these days, no one would know about them if it wasn't for YouTube or social media or anything like that. And it's because of these people that are famous or have the top names produce it and show how to get to these places and where to go and what to do. It's a reason why we all go out there and do it. I think we just need to show some support about it. So, yeah, that was just another little quick tip in topic, I suppose. I was thinking I might try something and see if we can call Maddie and Andre one by one and just see if they've got something to fill in for this week. So hang tight and we'll be back when we can get on to either Maddie or Andre. Oh, what's just recording on the potty, mate? What's going on? What's your update for the week and what have you been doing?
Oh, mate, you know, just the same old, just working old 40-hour week. Just picked up a few goodies on the weekend from Roof Racks Galore and just installing them at the moment.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, it's just been a quiet weekend. Me and Chloe really haven't really been doing much. So we've just kind of just been putting the car back slowly together as it is always every weekend.
Yeah.
No, that's it. I've just gone through a few bloody topics and shit on the potty. Fucking doing a little solo weekly update. Just thought I might give you a call and see if you got anything to add into this week's episode.
No, well, have you talked about the absolute crackdown at DI this weekend?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, well, that's been playing on my mind all weekend, hey, and that's really why we haven't really left the house at all. Because every time I seem to jump on Instagram stories, someone's getting defected.
Yep.
And it's all coming from this road safety week thing.
Yeah, well, that's another one to mention is road safety week. They're going to be out there everywhere, but I think I said it to you. It doesn't help when everyone wants to go up DI on the weekend. They all post a week heading into it. Oh, let's go up DI weekend. Big meet at DI this weekend, and then they cry like a baby when there's police there. Yeah, it's like, why are you advertising with a modified car that you're going away and what location you're going to?
And I think I saw actually a few people putting up bush stuffs as well up there, like a few big parties. So I think that's why they're cracking down at the moment up there.
Yeah, and like not this weekend, but the weekend before. Did you see there was a ute rollover or something up there?
Yeah, I did see that. That was last weekend, eh?
Yeah, it was, I ended up screenshotting I screenshotted the post and it was like, I can't remember what page it was on because I've cropped it out, but it was like a member of the public has messaged admin as a witness to an accident that occurred on Tiwa over the weekend, last weekend for when you listen to this. He was camping in Zone 3 Saturday night when he heard a crash, saw a lot of people crowding around a car that rolled. He went over to check and everyone was okay. He was asked very sternly not to take any photos, not to tell anyone of the accident. And after taking a couple of photos, the group members, he found out that the driver was drunk and did not own the vehicle. He tried to find the driver to check if the driver was okay, but he ran away from the scene to avoid any trouble with authorities. Police and rangers never showed up, and he was asked by a bunch of young P-platers to delete the evidence. However, he thinks people should see what's happened. And it looks like a Colorado dual cab sitting on his roof.
Wow. Yeah. Tip-ins, that's what they were doing.
No, it was driving over a dune.
Oh, what? They were driving over dunes?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That's just destroying the dunes.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Like, it's fucking dumb. If you're drunk, you don't own the car, and you're fucking crashing it, like,
That's wow.
But, like, fucking, people fuck up and they do the wrong thing, and social media does have a voice now to be able to fucking, mention and show all this shit that does happen that didn't, like, yes, it was happening 20 years ago, but there was no social media, so.
Yeah. Jesus. And there wasn't as many people going up as well.
Hey?
There wasn't as many people going up as well.
No. But, this week was bloody busy up there. Like, I know you would have been seeing all the Snapchats and stuff. It was busy up there.
Yeah, it was packed, man. Proper.
Yeah.
And like yesterday was windy. Like it wouldn't have been that good to be up there. But today's a pearl of a day.
Oh, beautiful.
and I can understand why there's every man and his dog up there today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, not much happening real, Mac. Just getting the car ready. We're going away actually on holidays on not this weekend coming. Yeah, we're going on a little cruise, me and Chloe.
Bloody half your luck, mate.
Yeah, I know, something different. You know, get away from the car.
Little couple getaway.
Island popped up, and it'll be the third time I left the country.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, no. So no, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. And then a couple of weeks later is Cape York.
Head up north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully I get my buddy ute sorted and done.
Yeah. Well, what's been happening in your little world?
Oh, I've sort of already mentioned, so I don't want to double up on the body, but yeah, just getting the ute ready. Same old. So
Yeah. So we saw that you got the tray off.
got the tray off. New tray's coming. Yeah, it's all coming along. So
Nice.
Yeah, I mean Norwood tray is in full action this week.
So what have you done? Just put timber slacks or something around it?
Yeah, so I got a bit of buddy standard treated pine. Fucking just cut it long ways with me chassis rails. Bolted on there, 2 across for the mud guards, and then 1 across the back for the light bar.
Oh, bush mechanics at its finest.
Hey, it's not one of the worst ones I've seen, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
I've seen some pretty good. There's been a few new ones driving around with absolutely nothing on the back lately. I'm going, how are you guys not being pulled over yet?
yeah, I reckon I'll sell this fucking thing when I'm done with it. So, there will be someone out there that would buy it.
There probably would be, man.
Yeah, like
Someone's
I mean, all you'd have to do is put a couple extra slats across it, and then maybe a sheet of ply, and it'd be a flat deck sort of tray.
Yeah.
You might not be a fabricator, but you could be a fully sick chippy.
You're fully sick chippy, which you are either none of them.
Yeah, fencer, bruh.
Fencing.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good.
Yeah. So, how's the fucking giveaway, bud?
Oh, dude, I'm excited. I can't believe we got second year giveaway.
Yeah. I sort of.
I was so stoked, man, because we were watching it. We were putting our back seats back in the car this morning.
Yeah.
And then I must have completely missed it that we won.
Yeah.
I thought I was just listening out for a different name. And then, yeah, you rang us up and going, oh, you got second place, you idiots. I'm like, how?
Yeah. And that's like, I've had a couple of fucking stern messages, I'll say, from people this morning, like, this is fucked, it's rigged, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just fucking ignored them. And it's just like, look, at the end of the day, whoever's entered the most, supports me the most, like, I went back through a couple of the comments, they'd entered once into their giveaway, and then they're saying, oh, it's rigged, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they had a 1 in 1,400 chance of winning.
Wow, is that how many entered? 1,400.
Yeah, and then like people like yourself, I think you had a fair few entries in there from what I counted. And then some of the other boys had, like, I think the biggest name entered in there was 35 entries.
Holy!
It's a lot of entries, but you know, you've got like a ballpark and like say a 1 in 25 chance of winning. Then
yeah,
so
yeah, literally.
It's
No, we had someone message us, goes, oh, this is rigged too. Did you rig Sam Moles one as well to win Land Cruiser? I'm like, dude, I can't believe that we won Macca's.
Yeah, like I didn't even draw the names. I put it, so I went.
In a random generator?
No, it wasn't even a random generator. I went to a website where you put in the post URL. It pulls out the names that have entered followed correctly. And then you pay $10 and it sends you the winners' names who have, you know, followed the giveaway rules and done all that and blah, blah, blah. And then I can go through and double check it myself, obviously. But yeah, it's, you know, fucking, that's what happens. You do it legit so you don't have to deal with this sort of stuff. And I mean, if it was a paid ticket entry, it would be done to the next level again and the next level again and goes on and on. But like I said with the last giveaway at 10,000, 3 of the boys who won it were local boys and 2 of them I've been mates with for years. Like, not very close with them, but I know them enough that I can go say hi to them and message them and whatnot. But at the end of the day, some of the biggest people that support me are some of the closest people to me. So
yeah, And your biggest supporters, mate. I'm your biggest supporter.
Yeah, that's it. My biggest fans.
My biggest fans.
But yeah, I was actually like, when I seen it, I just got like I had it all on video. I was like, got goosebumps, and I was just like, there is absolutely no bloody way that this has happened. But yeah, there it is.
Same. When you rang me, I was gobsmacked. I was like, no, you're not. You're joking with me.
Yeah. Well, fucking Jake that won first place, he was in bed, and the boys were actually watching it, and they've like started yelling and shit.
Yeah. I did see Luke and James and all them bloody commenting.
Yeah, keeping all that in there. Yeah. I'm also happy to see that shit's going to go somewhere where it's going to get used too.
Bloody oath, mate. We'll use them.
Yeah,
we'll bloody use it.
Bloody good brands, good companies there. So.
Oh, mate, it was an awesome giveaway.
Bloody ripper.
Just wish we could win first prize.
Yeah. Nothing like
second
a tune.
best.
Yeah. You ain't
Nothing
first,
like
you're
a
last.
good tune, mate.
Yeah.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's it.
No one remembers second.
Oh, but yeah, no, it just comes in like next giveaway is just going to have to be bigger and bigger again until I don't know, one day we start giving away.
That's what
a car.
I mean. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. And we'll be getting ready for our 5K giveaway soon on YouTube. So.
Oh, your
that's
YouTube
another
one
coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're almost at 3K now. So, just a few followers off 3K now. So yeah, 2 more. We'll get a few more videos coming out. We've got to edit. We've got heaps backed up. So
yeah.
And everyone's been dying to see this inside of the canopy. I know only a few people have seen it, and it's only just a prototype. But yeah, it'd be good to get that video out and show everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when we're going. We've been chosen to go to the Sunny Coast Expo, 4x4 Expo, camp and all that with Mission Built. So
when's that on?
Yeah, the 24th of September.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so we're literally coming straight from Cape York to there.
Jesus, that's going to be a big cleanup.
It's going to be a huge cleanup. We'll get a couple of days in. It's going to be the car's going to be on display for about 3 days. So yeah, if anyone's around, wants to come see us, say hi, check out the car.
Ripper.
Be there.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just putting the final touches on. Got to get a few things ready for Cape as well. And then for the show, hopefully everyone can come down and see what we've been doing.
Bloody sick.
Yeah.
Oh, unreal. Oh,
Unreal, man.
I'm gonna try my luck and try and call Andre next.
Yeah, do it.
See if he answers the phone.
See what he's been up to.
Yeah.
Easy, mate. He's had a bit on .com. Had a bit on like you.com.
Yeah. Oh, we're all busy, so.
We're all busy, eh?
That's it.
That's it.
Easy, mate. I'll give you a yell afterwards anyway.
Yeah, too easy, man.
Right, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, catch you, dog.
Catch
you, man.
Bye.
Yeah. You.
Oh, that was the co-host Matty. So we're gonna try and jump over, give Andre a call. I've got a couple of topics with Andre as well, and yeah, we'll be right back. All right, we're back on the phone. We've got Andre here. How you going, mate? What's up? What's going on?
Mate, you know what? Flat out on site, doing the most.
That's it. Working.
Yeah, that's me.
I sort of flicked you a message before and said, do you have any topics to fill in for this week's episode or to add?
I've got a good one.
And
a really good fucking topic.
And I think we might be on the same topic with this one too. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts and what you got to say.
Some bullshit, that's what I got to say. No. I get this, right? I'm not going to name any names because that's fucking rude or some shit. Anyway, people look down on you when you do that.
Yeah.
But what's the go? Right, what's the go? And everyone fucking knows what I'm talking about too. What's the go with some people ripping out some fucking hell mad suspension mods on some random shit
and
then trying to play it off like it's the fucking bee's knees?
Yep.
Like, and said people should know better or should have done research. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, right? What the fuck's the go with that? And then,
I think what like everyone knows what we're talking about. It's Sam Oll's sort of. I think it's calling sexy or whatever he's called the build or whatever. It's meant to be like a non-street legal build that he's put a 4-link kit into that everyone's stirring it up.
Fucking show car and it's never going to do anything.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of people looking at him going like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that to my rig. You wouldn't believe how many people have sent me a photo of that and be like, what's wrong with this? Why can't I do this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, a person in this situation should be taking a little bit more care with that kind of thing because a lot of people are looking at that, taking notes.
Yeah.
A lot of people who sadly don't know yet.
And I think someone like myself, where I can play like the devil's advocate on it from the outsider point of view, where I would just look at it and go, because I looked at it and I've gone, oh, that's sick. And it wasn't until someone actually mentioned something that I'd sort of had a little bit of knowledge to go, oh, that's right. Like you've got to sort of separate your arms, and you're probably better at explaining that yourself because that's your gig.
Yeah, so
But
basically the gist of it, and there's a few other issues with the actual setup, but we're not going to go into that. The main thing is you want 25% of your tire diameter is what you want your link separation to be.
yeah,
Link separation is the distance between your upper and your lower control mounts,
yeah,
like the distance between eye to eye. Okay.
yeah. And that's
if
if
they're
you're
too
looking
close
side
together,
on.
yes, if they're too close together, you can actually wrap your axle up.
Yeah,
Give it enough gas, right? So it's the same as if you have a leaf spring and you take all your leaves out, you only have one leaf spring left, you accelerate, it's going to wrap that axle up.
yeah.
Basically.
And I suppose
So-
the best way to explain it is from what you like to explain it like in a way visually is you see a lot of people put their upper arms on the top of the like in a triangle on the top of the diff center, and you see a lot of the lower arms out wide underneath the bottom of the diff center. That's to get your
Exactly.
separation.
Exactly.
And I think probably playing on the devil advocate part of Sam is something could have been missed along the way or just completely forgotten about, or it could have been just an honest mistake. We don't know because Sam hasn't said anything about it. But they probably were made to go underneath, or I'm not trying to speculate anything, but it could have been just an honest fuck up. It could have been something that was the wrong information that
I
he was
may be
given.
wrong, but in those videos, those motherfuckers were fully welded in. But I don't know what his plan is. Like, I know it's just a show car, so whatever.
Yeah.
Now, I've been thinking about it though.
Yeah.
There is another very, very big brand that has done something very similar, but it's on a front axle setup, right?
It's on a
And
what?
everyone knows so the front axles, right? So the radius arms that patrols run?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone knows Superior Engineering.
Yep.
Okay. Everyone knows about the Superior Engineering was it the Hyperflex arms?
Yes.
I think. So basically all they've done is they've put a spacer in the front where the front mount of the radius arm usually is, and then they've made a new arm which got the two bushes on the back of the diff sort of like in a vertical position but really close to each other.
Yeah, right.
So you always see a patrol with a Hyperflex setup, when they hit the brakes, you see that axle twist forward a bit.
Yeah.
Like so the front axle has a lot less force that way than the rear, obviously, but
Yeah.
same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that. Because like this thing that Sam did obviously was fuck all separation. Superior's gone and done the fucking same thing. But it is a bit different because the Bizzleway is a lot stronger than the Lynx, obviously. But I mean, it's not really far off.
Yeah. And I think it'd be something to jump into, like probably maybe a YouTube video to sort of sit there and like behind the scenes voiceover explain what's going on with different setups, because like you see stuff now like what one of the boys has just put in his car, like you've got is it radius arm swap like over the top of your axle and all that, like flip over arms and
like,
so like
there's
people
nothing
doing flipped
wrong with that
arms
as long as you keep your fucking angles right.
Exactly. And there's so many different setups, and I sort of mentioned it at the start of the episode, there's so many ways to do a right and wrong setup depending on what you're doing. Like there's no point doing a touring setup if you're going to be racing Ultra 4. There's no point doing an Ultra 4 setup if you're going to be just towing a caravan. Like it's, I don't know, having the right and wrong setup for the right and wrong scenarios is still there. But
Very much
like
so.
I know you've been very vocal with 4Links setups, and where you got a lot of your information was like, is it Busted Knuckle Films?
Yeah, so Busted Knuckle, they actually have the online calculators, and they actually have on their YouTube a whole sort of playlist of tutorials.
Yep.
And they show you a lot of the different ways to work out 4Links. They like because they run rock bouncers.
Yep.
But then their setup, you can work it out for any other different way you want to do it. But there is certain little fucking rules you have to follow. One of those are link separation, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of ways to do it the correct way, but
Yeah.
there is also a lot of little rules that you've got to follow to make sure it works safely.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I'm sure they're very easy to skip over some parts, or like, yeah, going back to Sam's build where he's doing with that sexy truck or whatever he's calling it. It's I looked at it
Another
once.
Mad Mike build.
Yeah, it's like a Mad Max build. Yeah.
Mad Max, sorry.
Yeah.
Mad Max. That's
And
it.
it's
fucking
like I've seen absolutely everyone on social media and going on almost like subtly taking the piss out of it, whatever. I looked at it from the outside as a spot where has he been given the wrong information? Has he just welded them on the wrong side of the diff by mistake and measured them upwards? There could be so many factors without knowing from Sam himself what's happened.
So I have seen some of the message that Sam has sent to some people who messaged him about it.
Yeah.
And he's just playing it off like, oh yeah, there's a lot of maths involved, not finished yet, rah rah. Like, can't fucking listen to the blokes who's actually set up race setups.
Yeah.
Race proven trucks, and he's not like he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just the fact that it's a show car and it doesn't really matter, but
yeah,
that's just what I've seen anyways.
It's also a thing, like, I mean, like you sort of said to me is, and you said at the start is, if you want to learn something to do yourself, make sure you do your research and do it properly. Like, don't look at the first video you see and go do that, because you could be looking at one of your videos, which might get them out of trouble. They could be looking at Sam's, or they could be looking at a Terra Crew video or someone like that. And I've always believed in you do your research and then you go speak to people who are in the industry who have physical experience. Yeah. Because you get to talk to someone who's built a falling setup and raced said setup, like that exact thing that he built and has raced successfully. Yeah. You can be guaranteed you can copy his setup and it's going to work. Yeah. See? Yeah. That's one of the big things is like you got to be able to back up your research, because I mean you can do all the research in the world and might be wrong. Yeah. Like your source might be incorrect. See. But yeah. Like I learned a little bit of that from growing up racing motocross. Like everyone's going to have a different suspension setup that's going to suit a different track. The fuck was that?
A bird.
But same thing, like on motocross tracks, like you might have a sand track to a clay track, you're going to run a different tire. That just comes with people following. Like if no one, someone might see one person run a sand tire at a track and think they've got to run a sand tire when they really should be just running a mid-soft compound tire. Like, I mean, we're going to learn a lot of that stuff as well when we start going racing in the ute. And
for sure. I think the key thing is that you got to keep an open mind. You got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to say, this may be a mistake. Maybe I should change it up. Yeah. Because that's the only way you can improve yourself, really. Yeah. In that regard.
Yeah, exactly right.
Nice.
Yeah. No, just been an interesting little episode today. Got to talk to Matty. Got to talk to you. Spat a bit of my stuff out of my own mouth. Went through a few other topics and everything. Yeah. No, I just thought the falling topic was a hot topic this week between a lot of people that I know we know ourselves and other people that we don't know. We're just like, and it come back to like one of the sections where it goes like, almost in a way like using someone else's name to shit on someone else's name to grow your own name. And it's like, yeah, you can see where they're coming from, but it's, why put someone else's name down to make your own name look better too?
Oh, that's it. That's why I just haven't mentioned the name really. Like, like when I put it up in the story, I was like, well, this is information. If anyone wants to use it, use it. If you don't, fucking whatever.
And that's why I like the way you sort of come across it. Was you didn't put it out there shitting on someone. You put it out there to say, hey, this is the way I do in falling. So this is the information where I get it from. This is how I do it. Like you provided a place to give information to someone to learn, not just a place to shit on someone else.
Well, put it this way, I don't I'm trying to, like, I don't focus on anyone else's things. I just
Do your own
do
shit.
my own thing
Yep.
and then try and teach people as much as I can.
That's it.
The other thing is, if you start shitting on someone else, that's all people focus on. They don't actually focus on what you're trying to get across. So,
Exactly.
yeah. You know what I mean? I got to run. But
Easy.
good talking, and I'll catch up with you a bit later.
No worries, mate. I'll talk to you later.
All right, catch up.
Who wrote that? Oh, well, there we have it. That was another interesting call. Actually surprised. I think it's the first time we've actually been able to call both blokes and have a yarn with them. So, yeah, it's been a very loaded question with like falling setups and all that sort of stuff this week and what people are doing. And I mean, everyone's going to take their little 2 cents out of every situation. And yeah, if you want to follow a falling build and design, there's people and calculators like Andre was saying where you can go and do that and, you know, ask people not like me because I'm pretty clueless with suspension geometry, but there's experts out there in the industry, whether it's, you know, you've got companies like HEYBIGMAC, Superior, J-Race, Ironhide Customs, they're all going to know some sort of information about details that you're going to want. And then you've got your calculators like Busted Knuckle Films, they're going to be able to provide you with information to set up your geometry and your measurements and all that sort of stuff. So definitely information out there. And yeah, so no, I thought that was pretty good. Be able to jump on and talk with the boys. As always, I haven't forgotten we're going to finish off with rig of the weeks. This is going to be a quick little one. I've done 2 rigs this week because obviously we missed last week's episode. Just each week I pick out a random rig. Sometimes the people send me different pages and I just might see it and go, that's sick, but I don't want people to send in their own rigs. So last week's rig of the week was 79 Thor. So 79 THOR. The only reason I picked this account, from memory, I don't think they have many followers, but his camera work and the way he's presenting his reels and videos and stuff was absolutely immaculate. Like, it was just really tidy to see, you know, just some of the drone shots and that they'll get and things like that. And the photography work, it looks like a professional sort of photographer's page. And I don't know, it's just, yeah, caught my eye. I was like, that's a tidy detail that was there. We've had a lot of 79s that we'll mention in the rig reviews or like rig mentions. It's not on purpose. It's just I love 79s, and it's sort of, I suppose, law of attraction. If you love something, you're going to find something. So I just see a lot of 79s that I like. But the next car that got, I actually seen it off someone's story at the Brisbane 4x4 show this week, which is another one, 4x show that's on this week. I'm sure we'll get into that probably. Might do something about that next week. We'll get into the 4x4 show a bit more maybe next week, do a bit of episode on it, get the boys' opinions on it, maybe ask someone who was down there and give them a call. So the next rig of the week is Manny Burton. So it's MANNYBURTON. He has it's basically a GQ Patrol that's been dual cab, chopped, tray, all the works. It caught my eye and I was just like, mainly because of the colour red, but it's basically touring setup, all the works. It looks sick. So just thought it was a nice mention to put on there. I know a fair few people have sort of followed him now. I think he's got 20-something thousand followers. But yeah, just a unique build that's done, from my eyes, really clean and neat. And yeah, I just thought that was worth another rig mention this week. So yeah, Manny Burton and 79 Thor. They were our rigs of the week, guys. So go check them out and yeah, maybe you might learn something from them. Follow along and see what their journey's like. So yeah, closing up for the week of the podcast, guys. Make sure you jump over and Injector Core Line giveaway is live this week only. You can win a free Fluke Dometic Esky. Call up, send us a message, like a voice message or whatever it might be, that we can play through the podcast. And basically, the best call is going to win an Esky. It's as simple as it is. Same as my 20k follower giveaway. If you are not in the giveaway, you're not in there to win it.
So you've got to be in the entries to win it. It's as simple as that. So I don't care if you want to call up with any sort of yarn, whatever it might be. I want to have more the better, basically. I think there's 6 so far in there since we've put the Instagram post up. So, yeah, get in forward drive fails, fuck ups, funny things on the tracks, helpful information, DIY information. It could be just a yarn to us, like to say something, appreciation, whatever it might be. Maybe even an advice. Call us for advice if we've got anything we can help you with. We will give our best shot. So, going to finish it off there, guys. We thank absolutely each and every single one of you for watching, viewing, listening, subscribing. This is an listener-only episode this week, so there's no video. It's just me in the office. So yeah, but appreciate everyone that's jumped on, stayed listening. I think we're about an hour and 10 in so far to this episode. So yeah, it's a long episode for an update episode, but appreciate absolutely everyone that's stuck around. So we will see you next week, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Shake and bake. We out.
Shake and bake! Woo!